everybody, it's Chelsea Face Reads. I hope you are doing fantastic today. I'm excited because today's video, I'm going to show you all of the books that are unread on my TBR that I hope to get to someday. So I just got off from work. I'm in my comfy clothes, so I look a little weird with the makeup and then the t-shirt. But we're just gonna make this video because I was in the mood for it. So these are in no particular order. I'm just gonna go through I have two big stacks here, all of the books that I have unread on my TBR. Some of them I have started, but I'll talk about that as I get to them. So without further ado, let's go. First, remember to like, comment, and subscribe on this video if you are into these kind of things. I would love to hit 1,000 by the end of this year, and we're getting closer and closer. So I would appreciate your time, your engagement of any kind, comment, like, subscribe, whichever one you prefer, all three. I would love that if you could do that for me. Thank you very much. The first book in my pile is Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. This is a 360 something page book that I got as a gift from my husband a long time ago as a business expense because I had done him something work related for free, and he just got me this as like a thank you gift from work. So that was really awesome. I loved when people gift me books, and I did kind of pick it out, but at the same time it was kind of a surprise, so it's really exciting for me. This is a standalone fantasy novel. I've never read a Brandon Sanderson. I have two of them on my TBR. I want to get to them someday. I just have to be in the right mood for it. And it is a really long one, but you know, one day I want to get to this. It sounds really cool. On the back it says that Tress has only known her island home. She lives on an island. She collects cups that people bring her from all over the world. Something about a sorceress. And I think she goes sailing on the sea looking for something. So this sounds really fun. I hope to get to that someday soon. Also, if you see anything on this TBR that you're like, Chelsea, why have you not picked this up yet? Let a girl know, especially if you know the things that I like. Again, I have two short fantasy novels, novellas. I think this is the first one and this is the second one. The Empress of Salt and Fortune by Ning Bo, and then When the Tiger Came Down the Mountain by Ning Bo. I don't know much about these other than they are culturally inspired. They're a fantasy with animals. I don't know anything about them, but they were like really cheap at my local indie as used books. So I had to pick them up. They've been wanting to try them, so I'm not going to buy any more in the series until I read these two to see if I even like it, but they were so cheap. And I didn't want to buy the first one and then only have the second one there, so I just bought them both. No big deal. If I hate it, I'll just give it back to them as a donation. No big deal. I think I'm going to like it though. I just have a good feeling about it. And here's the other Brandon Sanderson I was talking about. This is Warbreaker. Someone that I have karate classes with is such a huge Brandon Sanderson fan. Ooh, it's thundering. I wonder if you can hear it. They are such a big fan of this writer that they gifted me this paperback. It's a mass market, so it's over 600 pages. But I asked them if they're so desperate to get me to read Brandon Sanderson to give me a book, recommend a book that they think anyone who only gets one shot at Brandon Sanderson should read. And this is what he picked. And he said it's a standalone, I think. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot one day. I just, again, have to be in the mood for it. And it was so sweet of him to give me this. I love getting books as gifts, especially if it's something that I actually do want to read. The next book is one that I ordered online from like a different country because I've never done that before for a cover, but I hated the American version. That is Delagut Dream Department Store. It says it's a Korean #1 bestseller. The Dream You Ordered is Sold Out by Mai Lee, translated by Sandy Jusun Lee. It's got the cute little paper French flaps in the front and back. It's a pretty short book, only 250 something pages, and I love this cover. It sounds like a really cool premise. In a mysterious town hidden in our collective subconscious, there's a department store that sells dreams. How cool is that? I started coughing again, so I went and got liquid. I guess I'm just so dehydrated, y'all, that I can't talk for more than 2 minutes without like coughing my brains out. The next book I have is They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. This is a well-loved paperback, mass paperback copy I got from the thrift store for like 50 cents, maybe even 25 cents. Over 300 pages, close to 400 in this version. Ooh, spooky. And this is a book about a teacher, I believe at a university, who starts killing men because they've done bad things, which, you know, girl power. I think this would be a great month to read something like this because it's like Women's Month. So let me know if you think I should read this in March, because maybe this would be a good one to read. I also have The Creepypasta Collection, Modern Urban Legends You Can't Unread, edited by Mr. Creepypasta. I got this at like a used bookstore locally, and it's kind of in rough condition, but I like creepypastas. I used to love them back in the day. I think I was just wanting to try something like that and to see if I would like these short stories. So if they're cringe, I'll just donate this. If they're really good, I'll tell you about them, but I'd never heard of this collection. It'll be fun. Next up, I have a book that I did also get thrifting for like $1. And I want to read this, I just have to be in the mood, you know? A lot of these are like that. This is Felix Ever After by Kaysen Calendar. This is a book about a trans character, and I don't know anything else about it. But when I do remember people talking about this back when it first came out, and they said it was really good. So I do want to read this, but I know it's going to be a heavy read, and a very serious read, so that's what I'm waiting for. I have the first and second, and then I guess the fourth book of the Hunger Games series. I'm looking for the third, and then I also want to get the purple one, the new one that just came out. I have never read the Hunger Games series. That's so scary. I'm gonna leave this in here. Oh, there it is. Yay! We don't hardly ever have power go out here, but I do want to read this series. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but I do want to have all of them before I start because I think I'll like it a lot. I love a good middle grade, a good YA, whatever this is. And I've seen the movies, most of them, not all of them, because I did want to read it first. So I do hope to do a reading vlog one day with these. I just have to find it as cheaply as I found the other two. I got these for like 50 cents. Great condition paperbacks. And I do not want to pay more for the third one, so I'm not going to. This one I bought brand new, and I'll buy the other one brand new probably. For some reason, that third one, I can't make myself do it. Next up, I have The Immortal Rules by Julie Kagawa. This is a darkly thrilling dystopian saga begins. It's about vampires. Allison Sekimoto survives in the fringe, the outermost circle of a walled-in city. By day, she and her crew scavenge for food. By night, any one of them could be eaten. So it's like a dystopian vampire story where people, I think, are owned by vampires. So it's like they took over. You have to feed them to be owned by one, and then to be owned by one means that you're taken care of, but also you're owned by a vampire, and they can feed on you however and whenever they want. And so there's people who aren't owned, and so they're kind of like fugitives from what I get. I did start this a long time ago. I only got a little bit into it because I just wasn't feeling it at the time, but I do like Julie Kagawa's other book, The Shadow of the Fox trilogy, so I do want to give this a fair try eventually. I have The Star Shepherd by Dan Herring and Marcy Kate Connolly. I got this at a Dollar Tree a year or two ago. I love the cover. It's illustrated and very pretty. It's got a little bit of like foil here on the front, very shiny. I don't remember what it's about, but I remember when I read this at the store, I thought it sounded really intriguing. And I have read one other book that I got from the Dollar Tree. I'll be sure to put a picture here, and it was really good. Dollar Tree really has stepped up their game with books. I highly recommend going there because sometimes I find like big names on their shelves that I either don't want to read or I've already read, or I find little hidden gems like this one. But this one is called The Star Shepherd, and it says, when the world first formed, the night was black and filled with dark creatures. The elders knew their people wouldn't survive under such a threat, so they made the ultimate sacrifice. They gave their hearts to the sky in the form of brightly shining stars to keep evil away. Now 11-year-old Cairo is a star shepherd like his father. He spent his life tucked away in the outskirts of the town of Dren. There, the small family watches the night sky for falling stars and rushes to rescue them when they do. When too many stars begin falling at once, disappearing before they can be saved, Cairo's father journeys to the Star Shepherd Council to report the threat. But when he doesn't return, Cairo, with the help of the town baker daughter, Andra, and his trusty dog, Cypher, must find a way to save the stars before the dark creatures make a terrifying return. I think that sounds cool. Very adventurous. I think it's a middle grade. I think I'm gonna like it. And who doesn't love a good middle grade? Next, I have Across the Green Grass Fields by Seanan McGuire. This isn't the next one in the book series that I need to read. It's just one of them that I got in a bundle with another one. I don't know if the person had just sold all the other ones and they were trying to get rid of those two. I have this one whenever I get to it, and I can't wait to read it. I think this one is about Regan. I don't remember who Regan is. Sorry, but I'll get to it eventually. I just don't want to spoil myself by looking at the description of that one. I have a borrowed copy of Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. I have never read a T. Kingfisher, and I don't know if I will like it or not. I've heard very mixed things about her writing style, but this is a fantasy, and it came from a local little free library that it asks you to return it after, so I definitely will once I'm finished with this copy, or if I take too long I'll just take it back. But it says that something about a princess married away, something about a sister and an abusive prince. I don't know. It's short, it looked fun, so I borrowed it. I might take it back, who knows. It's like 200 pages. Next up I have Bunny by Mona Awad. I know, it's been forever and I have not read this. I think I got a couple chapters in and I stopped when I first started this. And the reason being is that I was just not in the mood for it at the time. I know I will like this based off of what everyone has said about it. And I hope that I haven't like guessed what this is gonna do. I hope it does surprise me still. So I do wanna read it. It's just not been something I've reached for yet. But I know I will one day because I always come back to the weird girl books. Next I have Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. Revenge is Sweet. I don't know if any of you have been here since the beginning of my booktube channel, but I used to read a lot of thrillers. I used to read mostly thrillers. Oh, it still has the book of the month. I got this used on Mercari one day and I have not read it since. So I don't know if this will ever get read, but I do want to read it. It's one of those that like I might have grown out of it, but I did purchase this fairly recently. I just don't tend to buy thriller or mystery books as often as I used to. I think I'm just more into horror now and fantasy and those kinds of books, weird girl books. But I'm sure one day I want to read this. I don't want to get rid of it because it does sound really good from what I've heard people say. And there's like a dead sister or something. It has something to do with a family and some sisters. So I hope it's what I wanted Karen Slaughter to be, but we'll see. I'll get to it one day. Next up I have another used book that I got from a thrift store. This is The Whisper Man by Alex North. I really liked The Shadows by Alex North when I read that a long time ago. I don't love the detective perspective. That rhymes. At all. I don't really like that anymore. I used to read a lot of books like that and I think it just got so repetitive. I like the story that is in these books. Like, I love the idea of this book. I started it, stopped it because something better came into my life, but I still think I could give this like a 3 or 4 star. I don't know yet because I haven't read it fully, but it was giving 4-ish stars, 3.5, and I think I'll like it. I just have to be in the mood for something exactly like this. But it's a horror story about thriller horror. I guess it's more horror about I guess a man who like kidnaps children or something and like whispers to them. So it's usually some type of supernatural thing involved, and it's always going to take you down a road that you don't think it's actually going to go down, and then it does something weird. At least it did with The Shadows. I really like that one though, so I hope I like this one too. And yet another Dollar Tree book that I have picked up and have not read yet. That is Stormrise. This is by Jillian Bowen. I devoured it in one sitting. I'm gonna read you the synopsis on this one because it's been so long. Rain's greatest aspiration is to train as a combat master, but in the kingdom of Ilanda, girls have only 2 possible futures, wife or spinster. When war reaches Ilanda's borders, Rain realizes 3 things. 1, she'd rather die a toothless hag in the gutter than marry a boy she's never met. Relatable. 2, she can fight as well as any man. For real. 3, this war is her chance to prove it. Knowing she'll be killed if she's discovered, Rain purchases powder made from the dragon magic that enables her to disguise herself as a boy. Mulan. So this is Mulan inspired. Okay, that's all I'm gonna read. Don't want to spoil it. They sometimes give away too much in these synopses nowadays. So this makes me want to read it. I love a good Mulan story, and this could be fun. I think it's a series too. It's a YA novel. I'm excited. This sounds really good. This is making me really excited. I recommend doing this, by the way, if you have a decently sized TBR, more than like 5 or 6 books. Reading the synopsis again and getting excited about your TBR because you might want to read them right now. Also, remember to like, comment, subscribe again if you haven't yet. What are you doing? Next up, I have a new one to the collection, Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. This is a short ish book, science fiction, about these women who go into this like alien territory to figure out why all these people did not return when they went to investigate the territory. So I've heard really good things about this. I want to do a reading vlog on this book just because I've always wanted to read it and I just haven't, so I will get to this sooner rather than later. The next book I have is The Cut by C.J. Dotson. A creepy tale guaranteed to keep you reading well past midnight, says Aaron E. Adams, author of Jackal, which I've never heard of. I did start this one. As you can see, it's still got my bookmark in there. Oopsie. I think I got to chapter 2. I did a try chapter of this one. I'm going to take my bookmark out. And I liked it, but I think I liked something more than this when I picked it up, just from the first chapter. But this is a story about a mom who has a daughter and she's pregnant again. I think she's pregnant. Maybe not. No, she's not pregnant. And she is trying to get away from her crappy husband, which good for her. And she runs away to this hotel. They hire her. She's living there but also working there, which is great for her to get off of her feet, you know. Everything's going well, but then like some weird stuff's happening with these guests. Like someone disappears and then people gaslight her into like, no, they didn't. So I think it's gonna have something to do with like this tentacle worm looking thing. And I want to know like how monstery it gets. That's fun to me. That's very adult goosebump book. So I do want to read this. It looks really fun. Next up I have The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. As you know, if you watch my channel, I've loved every Catriona book I've read to a certain extent. They're all crazy bad, but they're fun. They're really fun for me. They go all over the place. They feel very ADD, but still very organized in their own way, which kind of makes me feel like Catriona is a person of my own heart because I am chaotic organization in my life. So I vibe with her writing style very, very much. This is the only one I haven't read that I know of that exists in English. I'm sure they're all in English. I don't know why I said that, but I'm tired. I just got off work, but I want to read it. I love Sundial. Oh, I haven't read Little Eve either. But I did read the other one, Looking Glass Sound, and I love that one. So I definitely think this author is for me, and I hope I like this one as well. I know there's like a cat POV or something. I don't know anything else about the story other than wow, people think it's crazy. Next up I have Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I know what you're thinking. Chelsea, why do you have this book? This doesn't sound like a Chelsea book, at least to me it doesn't. But I can tell you guys, a lot of people I know IRL love this book. I don't get a lot of recommendations from those people because we don't usually read the same things, but I think I just wanted to give this one a try, and it was at my local indie, and I was like, oh, you know, it's like small business, you know, I gotta support them. And I needed to spend money that day because it was driving me crazy, wearing a hole in my pocket, and I was like, why not give this one a try? I want to read it. It's pretty thick. It's over 400 pages. I'm gonna have to really be in the mood for this one. I might do like a try a chapter fantasy edition, and this might be included because I think this does have some kind of magic in it. I don't know anything about it other than it has to do with gambling. Ketterdam, a bustling hub of international trade where anything can be had for the right price, and no one knows that better than the criminal prodigy Kaz Brecker. 6 dangerous outcasts, 1 impossible heist. Kaz's crew is the only thing that might stand between the world and destruction if they don't kill each other first. Ooh, that does sound good. I think this is a duology. Yeah, Six of Crows duology. And then there's a bunch of other series on the back of the book that I'll have to look into if I like their writing style. So this one's actually speaking to me more now that I think about it. I have Kiki's Delivery Service. I really want to get House Moving Castle as well because they sound so fun. I got this in California when I went to San Fran and it was so memorable. And then my cat chewed on it. You can see like, maybe you can't, but there's like a hole in it and I'm so upset at him. This book does hold memories, so I'm never gonna unhaul it. I got it from some little indie bookstore that was on the pier. It was so cute. We got a Blue Bottle coffee, which was delicious by the way, and then we went to this little bookstore and I had to get some books while I was out there. That's pretty much all I bought other than food in California, where it's books and manga, because they had the coolest little China Japan town. It was beautiful, y'all. There's a Miyazaki film based off of this book. I've always wanted to read it. I love a good middle grade. It looks really cute. Speaking of middle grade, I think this one's also a middle grade. I got it for like $1 at a thrift store. The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. I've heard really good things about this one as well a few years ago, back when everyone was reading it. I do love a good middle grade, but I do collect them and then I pick when I'm in the mood. I'm not always in the mood. I might read like 1 or 2 a year max. It's one of those things that just strikes me. I feel like this will hit one day so well, and it's won so many little awards here or there that I think I need to read it. So I'm glad I picked it up when I did. I have Hark the Herald Angels Scream, edited by Christopher Golden. a Blumhouse Books original. I've heard really bad things about this. Makes me hesitant to pick it up, but it is a short story collection that's horror Christmas themed, and I got it from my indie bookstore really early on when they opened up, so it's been in my collection for a long time. We'll get to it eventually. I'm not a big Christmas book girl, so maybe I shouldn't have picked this up either way. I have The Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker. This is a fairly new pickup as well. It's a very short horror book, but everybody says this is like one of the quintessential horror books that you should read if you are a horror person. I've never read a Clive Barker, but I've seen movies based off of some of his books, and I think that he could be really good for me if I vibe with his writing style. So I'm excited to try this one. I wanted to pick something short, and I have heard good things. So inspired the film Hellraiser. Makes sense with the cover, but yeah, I hope to get to it. Let me know if you've read this one and what you thought of it without spoiling it for me, please. The next book that I have is Killing Stella by Marlon Haushofer, author of The Wall. I'm gonna read you the synopsis of this one because that's what drew me in, and I just kind of picked it up out of nowhere. Never before in English, Killing Stella is a gripping, razor-sharp novella about a fractured marriage by the ferociously talented author of The Wall. Left alone for the weekend while her husband and 2 children are visiting her in-laws, Anna recounts the addition of her friend's daughter, Stella, into their already tense and tumultuous household. Staring out the window at her garden, Anna worries about the baby bird in the linden tree, about her husband, Richard, who flits from one adultery to another, about her son's gloomy demeanor and her daughter's obliviousness, and most of all about Stella, a confused teenager who will meet a sudden and disastrous end. A domestic horror story that blossoms into a catastrophe. Marlon Haushofer's Killing Stella distills many of the themes of her acclaimed novel The Wall into a claustrophobic, gothic, shattering novella. That sounds like right up my alley, so I do want to read this. It's very short. I think I could get into this in like a weekend. Only 2 books left. We're almost done, y'all. I have I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. This is one that I've been dying to read for a long time. Recently picked it up from my indie bookstore, and I was waiting for it to come in paperback. Honestly, that's really what I was waiting for. It's a little over 300 pages, so it wouldn't take long to get through this. I've loved every Stephen Graham Jones I've read so far, so I think I'll like this one. And the people who like the other ones by him that I like the most tend to like this one. So I don't want to know much about it because I don't want to spoil anything, but it's about a teenage slasher, so I think I'll like it. And the last book on my list is The Oracle King by R.H. Lanahan. I did start this, but I did pull, I think I got about that far in and I pulled my bookmark out because I just had to read something else because fantasy was just not the mood at the time. But this is a book written by a friend of mine, IRL. They're a great person and I love them, and this is like a fancy edition of the new book. They've written several other books since this has come out, so I recommend the Uluri Chronicles. I've read the first 2 and this is the 3rd in the series. It's really fancy. I need to get them to sign this one too. I really recommend this book. I recommend the series. I recommend all of their books because we love to support indie authors here, especially when the books are really good. I want to read this one day. I just got to be in a fantasy mood, and it's not like super high fantasy. It's like casual fantasy, that's what I'm gonna call it, where there's fantastical elements and themes and history, but it's not like high-end like elves and theory and like trees that have 100-year-old family lineages and stuff like that. That scares me away. This isn't that high stakes, so I do recommend it if you're like me and you can't handle that kind of crazy stuff. But yeah guys, that's all the books I have. There's a ton of them here. I'll be sure to put how many in the title of the video or whatever on the thumbnail somewhere. These do not count my manga. These do not count a bunch of my Goosebumps or Fear Street. That would take too long, so I did not include them in this. But if you want to see that, let me know, because I don't think I've made a video showing those off yet. If I have, sorry, but if I haven't, let me know. And if you want to see it, let me know. But remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what videos you want to see in the future. And I appreciate you guys watching my video. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.